Okay, it's been a minute. Anyway, the original Resident Evil 4 is considered by many to be one of the greatest games of all time. In 2005, it revolutionized the survival horror genre with its over-the-shoulder camera, exhilarating action sequences, and a memorable narrative. It is a staple of the survival horror genre, and has paved the way for many games like it, like Dead Space. When the remake was announced, many fans were skeptical due to Resident Evil 3's less than faithful remake. Fans were concerned the RE4 remake would share the same fate, with a lot of cut content and being less than satisfactory as a remake. The original game was known for its campiness and intense action, and with the recent installments of the Resident Evil franchise, I was concerned that the game would end up being too grounded or take itself too seriously. Fortunately, that isn't the case, in my opinion. After personally being so demotivated from playing video games, RE4 Remake has reignited my love for them. It has been so long since I had this much fun playing a single player game. There is so much to love about this game and I'm very glad it exists. First off, I need to mention how smooth the game felt while playing it. The RE engine continues to amaze me with how well optimized it is. The game is beautiful through and through, and I was able to play it at a high frame rate throughout. Nick Apostolidis reprises his role as Leon from Resident Evil 2 Remake and Infinite Darkness. Initially I was a little skeptical of his return because his performance in Infinite Darkness left me wanting. But my fears were laid to rest when the initial trailer for the remake had dropped, and having completed the game, I can say that Nick has done an outstanding job as Leon. He can convey the many complexities of his character, someone with a lot of baggage and trauma. He isn't as laid back as he was in the original game, and I think that it fits better. Like I mentioned already, I haven't had as much fun playing a game like this in a long time, and I owe that largely to the gameplay. There are several guns at Leon's disposal, from pistols to rifles to shotguns. Each gun is satisfying to use, except that bolt rifle thing. I don't know what that is, I hated it. But anyway, it feels so rewarding to get headshots and watch heads explode. Managing your inventory is just as satisfying as it had been in the original. And there's even an option to automatically sort it if you're feeling lazy, which I did end up doing. Additionally, the game has thankfully kept the melee prompts that the original game was known for. Roundhouse kicking Ganado has never felt so good. Something new in this game is the ability to craft things such as grenades and ammo. This to me is very much welcome as it gave me the opportunity to use resources in a way that would benefit my playstyle. The game also offers high replayability, allowing players to carry over the weapons and upgrades to new playthroughs and make new discoveries. There are different difficulty modes which provide its own set of challenges, in addition to ranks for each playthrough, which challenge the player to complete the game as quickly as possible whilst meeting certain criteria. I can only imagine the amount of challenge runs the community can come up with. This means that players can continue to enjoy the game even after finishing the main story, which I think is a hallmark of a good game. There was never a moment where I was bored playing this game, and it's owed largely to the level design. The game is set in several environments, from the village to a castle to underground labs, each with its own surprises in store. More so than the original, players are encouraged to use the environment to their advantage, like using exploding barrels for crowd control. Additionally, there is an emphasis on exploration, with tons of new locations and side quests, and treasure. There's also a fun minigame that challenges the player's skill. These minigames offer different challenges and reward you for completing them, which can prove to be quite useful to gain additional benefits such as charms. This further encourages replayability thanks to the vast number of charms you can earn. Despite that emphasis on action, the remake manages to maintain a sense of dread throughout the game. This is achieved through many things like the eerie sound design, the haunting music, the environments you explore, the different enemy types. There's a stronger focus on the horror element in this game compared to the original, and it feels much more like a fight for survival. From start to finish, players are enveloped in a world enhanced with sounds like the rustling leaves as Leon walks the forest, the creaking of wood as he cautiously opens doors, the eerie echoes of voices of the Ganado. Details like this create a sense of dread and realism that draws the player into the game. Furthermore, the soundtrack in the game further lends to the player's immersion. The music shifts between atmospheric melodies to adrenaline-induced tracks, each track masterfully used to evoke some kind of emotional response from the player. In conclusion, Resident Evil 4 Remake is one of the best games I've ever played. This might be a knee-jerk reaction, but I haven't had this much fun playing a game in a long time. As a relatively newcomer to the franchise, it's left me itching for more survival horror action games in the same vein. I can see myself replaying this for many years to come. It's reignited my passion for gaming, and I feel more invested in the Resident Evil franchise. I can't wait to see what else Capcom have in store for the Resident Evil franchise, and hopefully they can translate some of what they've learnt into future Devil May Cry games, if they ever happen, which I hope they do. Anyway, this is a bit of a short video, I guess. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please play this game if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video, if I make a video. At this point, you never know.